Now, again, I understand that nobody's really going to be watching YouTube live. At some point, maybe people will glom on and actually get notifications that I'm live on YouTube and whatnot. But I guess the thing is that I will put a link on this to my Facebook and MeWe accounts, Gab AI, Twitter, wherever, all of those, some of those, all of those. Saturday, September 8th, 2018, at about 12:37 p.m. So I was pondering about this knucklehead Senator Booker, is it? I think. Sorry, I have to keep adjusting my camera because it kind of wants to slide. Hit bumps in the road that knocks my phone around. Anyway, so this Booker guy, and his Spartacus moment, audacity to release confidential documents that had the night before been declassified. Woo! Go Spartacus! Woo, woo, woo. Get him, Booker! Get him! Sacrifice! Make that sacrifice! You idiot. I'm sorry, leftist leaning America. You're just losing the battle, and in the process, losing your collective frickin' minds. I've got this thing going on with this guy who hates Trump, hates Trump because he's unfair to people. Now, when I ask this, and this guy comes up with this crap all the time. This happens, that happens, Trump's a racist, I'm a racist, everybody's a racist, black people are getting shafted still, you know, we've not evolved or anything. But back, 150 years ago, when black people got the shaft, by golly, he's getting the shaft now because he's still black. Anyway, so I ask about proof for all this. I'm willing to accept people's statements if they can back it up with something. I'm not willing to accept people just BSing around and ranting and raving because their butt hurt over whatever it is their butt hurt over and trying to blame it on everybody else. Let me tell you something. Everything that happens to you is because of the way you react. That's the way it is. If you choose to be butt hurt, by golly, bend over and be butt hurt. If you choose to be offended, be offended. If you choose to understand that life's not fair, and it's not, you'll realize that and realize that it rains on the just and the unjust because that's the way life is. It's just not fair. Have I felt like I've been shafted in the past? Absolutely. I will tell you right now, I truly feel that I'm nowhere where I should be. I'm nowhere where I'm at right now in my life is nowhere near where I think I should be at my point. I didn't go to college. I should have, or at the very least gotten some technical certificates. Now I'm working on that now, and I've developed skills, and I've developed, I've worked for a telecom company and stuff like that, and where I developed skills. And I've gone out and got my my CDL. Granted, it's a Class B, but when I lost a job, I went out and took it upon myself to get a CDL so I could make myself more marketable and stuff like that. Those are the kinds of things you do if you feel you're not in the spot that you should be. Don't blame your misfortune and your situation in life on anybody else but you. That kind of strung all off to where... But anyway, this goes back to Cory Booker, Spartacus moment. This other guy who doesn't like Trump or everybody's racist and all this kind of stuff because he still feels that He's getting shafted. Now, when I ask about the specifics and particulars about how are you getting shafted, how is it you're still being, people are still exhibiting racism, whatever that is against you. People are still discriminating against you because you're black or because you're homosexual. He happens to be both. Some say that some choice, some's not. Obviously, being black is not a choice. Some say that being homosexual is. Some people say that. I don't care about that. You are what you are. If you're black and homosexual, that's what you are. If you're white and homosexual, that's what you are. If you're white and heterosexual, that's what you are. That's just what you are. But when I ask for proof of this, crickets. It's always some deflection of something else. I can never get any kind of straight answer from this guy on proof. And like I said, I'm willing to listen to anybody who will back up their statements with proof. But if you're just ranting and raving, just because you want to be heard or you want to say something, like me, oftentimes I just talk just to be talking. Maybe that's what this is right now. But if you're listening, then that's your fault. But no, people just rant and rave just to draw attention to themselves, not to any particular issue. If you have an issue, let's talk about it. Prove to me what the issue is. Show something concrete or credible that backs up your position. Just show it to me. That's all. Just show it. And then we can argue or discuss or agree from a point of accuracy, a point of realism, not emotion. As I've all very often said, I can't argue with opinion. Nobody can argue with opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. At least here in America, I don't give a crap about the rest of the world. I don't care whether they're entitled to their opinion or not. If they have a government that oppresses them for their opinion, they need to pick up a doggone gun and go kill somebody. Go kill their leaders and whatnot, and take their country back. It's not what they're going to do. Live with what you got. Don't come here and try to make this your country, though. But just bring something that we can talk about. Don't just whine and cry. My kids did that when they were real little, young, 3 or 4 years old. So when you whine and cry, just to be whining and crying, that's how I look at you, like a doggone 3 or 4-year-old, because that's what kids do. That's not what adults do. Now, I've had my fair share of times when I have antagonized people because I'm good at that. I will say that I'm good at finding a person's button and pushing it repeatedly to set them off, get them off center, unbalanced, whatever it is. I'm good at that. And a lot of people are good at that. To a lot of people, it comes as natural talent. Other people are trained that way. Other people have a combination of being trained that way and as natural talent, enhancing their natural talent. I think I probably fall into that category where I've gotten training on how to antagonize somebody to the point to make them do something stupid. But I do that, and I have done that. But any time when the rubber meets the road and I have a point to prove, or I want to prove the point I'm making, I will provide something to back that up. Now, if what I provide is in error, you can show me that. You can tell me that by providing something that shows that it's erroneous. And, I've gotten bad intel before. Everybody does. Made mistakes before. Made mistakes on how I've interpreted something. That's okay too, because we're all human. Just bring something. Just bring it. Bring something that we can have to discuss over. More than your emotions. I don't know what else to say after that. This has been an almost 10-minute monologue over people and the way they act and what they say and what they do. Maybe that's run a little long, but you know what? I kind of had to get down there because I got frustrated today with this guy. 2 guys, actually. One about Colorado abortions. The Colorado law allows abortions any time before that baby is born. There's no gestational limit. He's trying to hang on to something that says medically necessary. And yeah, You can have an abortion in Colorado late term if it's let me put it this way. The quote is medically necessary abortions are available to late term. That doesn't mean that you have to have a medically necessary abortion for it to be late term. Colorado law allows you to have an abortion up till the day that child's born. That's just the law. Whether it was intentional or not, that's what their law says. And they want to argue with me, but it's medically necessary. No, it doesn't say anything about medical necessity in the law. It doesn't. You just can't get it through. That frustrates me. Anyway, Colorado, if that's the way you want to do it, murder babies up until the time that they come out of the womb, you suck. But I don't live there anymore, so it doesn't matter. I can't affect their politics. That's the way it is this time in this place. Catch you later.